Yep, you've got one guy going boom, the other guy going whap, and the guy trying to run it in for the score, and he's going nowhere.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and off we go to wrap up a great Sunday of football. From his end zone, it's Demetric Felton. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. The Browns had 8 and 5 to start play. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Now it's Watson. Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Looking to pass. Tua. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Second and 10 on a chilly, snowy December day, and I must say, I'm loving it. Kind of putting me in the holiday spirit. Charles hates it, and he's giving me the evil eye, folks. Finding room at midfield.
Oh, he's got a little daylight.
Look at the big man rumble.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Now Watson.
This complete to David Bell.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd and 7, Watson. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Jalen Phillips make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be, try to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind because he didn't seem as committed.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
And the Dolphins are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
After the turnover, it's Tua. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. It's Tagovailoa from his own end zone. Quick hitter here. It's complete. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by John Johnson.
And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone.
But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. John Johnson with the INT. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come. They went with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And not much, maybe a yard down to the 23.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's got his receiver, Cooper. Touchdown, Browns. Amari Cooper, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Browns have moved out in front. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Here we go. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Tua. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Grant Delpit. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well,
he's got a man, complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And to be honest, this first half hasn't been anything they'd be really proud about. So they needed something like this to change their fortunes. Now they need to make sure they finish this one off, not just with points, but with a touchdown.
And the final number of the next-gen stats, that ball traveling a full 59 yards through the air. And they'll try the option on 1st and goal.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown.
Tua Tagovailoa
Scoring on the 2-yard keeper.
And the Dolphins have got it back to within a score.
Sanders on for the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Here comes Felton to bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Browns drive about to get started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for Watson. And this is going to be intercepted.
Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Up the middle they go. Whitfield.
And able to get this to the 31.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Tua sets up to pass it. Being chased out left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit.
On the left hash, this from 48 yards. Sanders' kick is good, and that'll bring him back within 4.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, You're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
They'll run with Hunt on second down. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Jalen Phillips. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. Taken in at the 22. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Tua. Throwing left side, it's complete. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Ready.
Tua to throw again. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. Here comes Felton to bring it out of the end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Only able to gain a couple there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
We'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
They'll go option to the short side. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Now, that was a designed run. Now, remember, if a quarterback goes feet first, he's protected. But if he dives head first, he's not. On that play, he figured the risk was worth the reward.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about
to a hit, and the ball is out. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua.
This will be caught just inside the 10.
2 yards left on 2nd down from the 9. Play action. Now it's Tua.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Well, we saw him score on the ground earlier in the ball game. This time, the defense says not so fast.
Yeah, that's good scouting and good awareness, isn't it? Because you always have to be wary of him keeping it himself, especially in this part of the field. Because if he doesn't like what he sees...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A 14-yard touchdown.
And the Dolphins have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Here comes Felton to bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. They begin this drive with Chubb.
And he's got Rome. And all the way down to the 35.
An even 100 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Chubb running to the wide side. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time, and that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching, and there's another first down run right there.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Amari Cooper with career touchdown number 75. And the Browns are an extra point away from tying this ball game here in the final moments of the 3rd quarter. Extra point by York is up and good. And we are all tied at 28. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. The first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion. Now a throw here hauled in. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. But we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mays used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And again, it's Chubb. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 132 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They toss it left side to Chubb. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Here's Watson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Amari Cooper from 19 yards away. And the Browns have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. On first down, Tagovailoa. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On play action, here's Tua. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. After the sack on first down, Tua. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now a give right side. Whitfield, and he stopped immediately there. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And he's got his tight end, Gesicki, in the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter.
Here comes Felton to bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Now a handoff up the middle. Whitfield. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll keep it on the ground. Whitfield. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
On third down, Whitfield. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
And I don't think there should be much of a discussion here, but you know how I am. You kick the football, you take the lead. How bold do you want to be in this situation, though?
Now Tua.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Bo Melton from 6 yards away.
And the Dolphins' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Here comes Felton to bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away, as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, are coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
Completes to Njoku.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a first down.
Now Watson.
He's going to let it fly.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. And the Dolphins have just about sewn up this football game.
Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them.